It was a kaleidoscope of colors, scattered all over the western skies of Colombo. A picture-perfect evening made for some romancing, dancing, and innocent love talk. I walked down Hotel Road, Mount Lavinia, in earnest. There was no room for not being punctual, as my friends would be there inside the ballroom, buzzing around the bandstand, getting their paraphernalia ready. To be precise, it was the 21st of May 1975, and the sun was now setting over the Indian Ocean with its blood-red light rays streaming onto the hotel terrace by the beach. As I remember, French-style windows opened out from the dance floor to the terrace, which perched on a cliff overseeing the Mount Lavinia beach. This beach is actually a world-famous beach, highly appreciated by foreigners, especially tourists coming from the cold climates, because it's like from a dream world actually. The beach and the setting, the ancient buildings around, the antique residence, the antique governor's residence from the British period, which latterly became the Mount Lavinia Hotel. Now young and old couples are streaming into the ballroom, ready to enjoy the music, and maybe they were expecting to indulge in some Tade dancing. Tade is a Sinhala slang word meaning intimate or close. Tada means tight, so literally it meant tight dancing. This was the word used for intimate dancing teenagers of the day indulged in. Though the term conjures up heavy romantic connotations, it was more or less a very innocent kind of activity. Young and not so young couples dressed up in the best they could afford were walking up to the Mount Lavinia Hotel, anticipating memorable moments laced with serendipity. You know, the word serendipity actually refers to the Sri Lankan or the Ceylonese island of Sri Lanka, Lakdiva, Serendip. You could always have a chat with the sea breeze strumming on your face. Declare your love to a future partner, etc. Or simply get ready to listen to and dance to Colombo's top band, assisted by another fine young musical group, also known as a second band. This was the norm of the day. There was a main band and a second band. And you could do this all the while sipping only a Coca-Cola, which was cheap throughout the night. Bell bottoms, rationed, half, cloth, no butter, no cheese, strawberry jam, which was artificial and made of pumpkin, I presume. For some of the items people are familiar with in the time of the early 70s. People were familiar with during the 1970s. There was no imported butter, imported cheese, or for that matter, cheese at all. Butter was not made here unless maybe in the plantations, upcountry plantations, the planters may have made some butter for their own use. But commercially it was not available, and many other things were not available which out of Sri Lanka people were used to anyway. The two bands, hoping to keep the guests entertained till the wee hours of the morning, were The Amazing Grace and the Pioneers as the second band. The Amazing Grace was by far the super group which all Sri Lankans had been dreaming of for ages. Tony de Silva, Pieries, Benjy Ranabahu, and Riza Dean. What a lineup. All the guys, quite good looking, were in their early 20s, sported beards and long hair, making them the heartthrob of the day. The drummer vocalist Donald was the most senior. The versatile Tony de Silva was the leader of Amazing Grace. I got to know Tony de Silva well after I joined Amazing Grace later. Tony even without his knowledge, was a mentor to me, as well as I realized to most musicians, since he had very unique ideas regarding the performance of music and the study of music, especially pop music. Tony was a very dynamic performer. His dynamism was very contagious, I may say. His dynamism inspired other younger musicians who were coming into the field to have confidence in their performances. We must mention that before Riza Dean, the outstanding lead guitarist and vocalist in Amazing Grace was Rodney Rabu, who made a major contribution to the development and image of the band. Rodney later, in the 1990s, joined my Chrome band at the Hilton to perform jazz and pop. He is still an outstanding vocalist of Sri Lanka, still performing, having a wide repertoire.